Then we had the interview with Scottie Pippen in the final hour of the show. And we were initially going to have John Rahm join us in the final hour of the show. And I said to Fritzy, look, this is going to take over the final hour of the show. Whatever Scottie says will take over the final hour of the show. We didn't know it was going to take over the entire sports world yesterday, and even media outlets who don't normally cover sports, because this was big. And Scottie Pippen has said some things recently, the GQ article where he talked about Phil Jackson and having Tony Kukoc take the last shot in a playoff game in 1994 he thought was racially motivated, and giving the white guy the opportunity. And Scottie said, I had earned that opportunity because I was there all of those years with Michael Jordan. Now this was my team. I wanted the ball. The fallout was pretty strong, and I don't know if we can advance the story. You know, we did reach out to Phil Jackson. We reached out to Michael Jordan. Phil was not available. And I understand that you don't want to touch this. But I just thought, let's do our due diligence here. Let's be professional and at least give Phil the opportunity if he does want to come on and talk about this. He declined. Michael Jordan declined as well. And I don't know if we advance it. I think locally in Chicago, this is going to stay there for quite some time because Scottie Pippen is, I mean, that's the market. If you're selling something, you want to make sure that that Chicago market is buying your bourbon or the book that he's going to have coming out this fall. But you don't mess with the 90s Bulls because people have the image of the 90s Bulls that, hey, they all got along. You know, they were jigsaw puzzle pieces that all fit in there together. They were rock stars. You know, people showed up to watch the Bulls beat your team. And what Scottie said yesterday, and look, this is Scottie's opinion of what happened. I can't discount that. Now, nobody believes him, but it is his interpretation of something, of Phil Jackson. And I don't know how long he's harbored this, but you're talking 27, 28 years that he's holding on to this. And maybe he was never asked about this, but the fact that he said it in such a casual, offhanded way in the GQ article that this was racially motivated. And I don't know if, Scottie's going, boy, the only way I can sell bourbon is if I have some crazy, outlandish, headline-worthy stuff to say. And it might be the opposite in the city of Chicago. But Scottie said what he said, and look, I appreciate him coming on. I just wanted context. That was it. And he didn't have to come on, but to be able to ask him, and he offered up some other stories, And they're part of me that I felt bad because I wasn't trying to protect him, but I wanted to be fair to him. Let me put it that way. But I got to be fair to Phil Jackson and Michael Jordan. You can't just go, let me pick sides here. I was trying to be as neutral as possible. There was only one moment where I was a little more agitated with him when he said, do you understand English? And, I can't let my personal feelings get in the way of that. And that's what I tried to just sidestep, move on, and let me continue with the interview. But I never saw it, never heard it, but it doesn't mean it didn't happen. But it doesn't mean that it did. That Michael was playing to the cameras in that game-winning shot by Steve Kerr, that Michael was doing it because everybody knew it was a documentary, and that's what Scottie said. Like, I'd never heard that before. Because I was trying to say, hey, Scottie, Mike's been a decoy before. Phil designed a play for Steve Kerr, and he goes, no, that wasn't Phil, that was Michael. Michael was doing that for the camera. I went, okay. That's Scottie's interpretation of this. But he's been holding on to some things for a long, long time. Whether they're real or not, they're perceived or not, it's his interpretation, his opinion. And that's why I thought, I'll listen to it. I don't agree with everybody's opinion who comes on this show, but I'm willing to listen to their opinions. But that was That's pretty damning yesterday to say that about Phil. And, Phil may say something that he doesn't know how it's being interpreted. When he referred to LeBron James and, the people who work with LeBron James as a posse, LeBron James took offense to that. Like, these are my business partners. This isn't my posse. And Phil may not have realized how that sounded or how it would sound to LeBron James or an African American. I have no idea. But Scottie said what he said, and I'm guessing that this book that comes out in the fall will probably have some more bombshells there. Because it feels like Scottie wants somebody to listen to him.